Okay, good evening. I'm Eden Windheimer, joined by the Selectman Steve Hall. And I call this Board of Selectmen meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Great, public comment? Nothing online, I don't believe. Okay, our first, the third thing on the agenda is Aquarian. This is a contest they hold each year. I'll just read a little thing from Aquarian. I'll have this posted on the town website also. As proud stewards of the environment, Aquarian carefully protects the natural resources of more than 20,000 acres of land surrounding our Connecticut water sources. This gives us a special appreciation for the thousands of volunteers who tirelessly work to protect and improve the health of natural resources throughout the state. We invite you to help honor those volunteers by submitting your nominations for the Aquarian Environmental Champion Awards. Awards will go to outstanding volunteers for their projects that have improved and protected Connecticut's air, water, soils, or plant and wildlife habitats. The nomination deadline is May 9th. And $5,000 will go to an environmental nonprofit, and then there's a student award of $1,000 for grades 9 to 12. Next on the agenda are the minutes from our February 26th and our March 17th.
I'll make a motion to accept the February 26th and March 17th meetings.
All right, I'll second it. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, those minutes are good. I'll read a sewer update. I just read it at our WPCA meeting at 5:30 on March 25th, 2025. Town officials, our inflow and infiltration consultant, and town council had a meeting with the MDC to discuss the town's bills for meter pit 5, as well as the payment plan the town previously entered into with the MDC. As you know, the town is currently conducting an I&I study, which will produce data, which will give us a better sense of what the issues are with the sewer system and provide us with metrics on sewer usage. The result of the meeting was a significantly reduced payment to the MDC over the next 6 months while the study takes place, and an increase in data sharing, which will help us resolve this problem long term. It also became clear at the meeting the town will need to update its metering system at Pit 5, something which has been in the works and which will be expedited. We will reconvene with the MDC in October, at which time we will have final data which can be discussed. In the interim, I will provide you with updates on the I&I study and the new meter installation as soon as they become available. Fiscal year 26 budget update. 5A, 5C, I did skip over back office shared services. Kind of going to touch base with that at appointments and resignations under new business. So the FY26 budget update. I presented the general government budget of a 2.5% increase at Board of Finance's March 18th meeting, transferring $100,000 from the capital budget to the operating budget as directed by Board of Finance. We did ask for an additional $17,400 for a new interactive budgeting software. This is a software where the public can actually go in, see what we see what bills have been paid, etc. So the Board of Finance will provide a final directive at their April 9th meeting to both the town and the Board of Ed for their budget, followed by a public hearing budget presentation of Board of Finance's budget, general government budget, and Board of Ed budgets on April 23rd at the high school. A town meeting is scheduled for May 7th at the Senior Community Center for all 3 budget presentations. All right, under new business, 6A, we have some appointments and resignations. I'll start with the 250th Celebration Committee. So we did appoint members at last meeting, and we had our first meeting. There's meeting minutes. Those can be found in the clerk's office, and I'm going to double check and make sure they get onto the website, the town website. So we do have a new member interested in joining, Tammy Duray Sorensen. So I'd be looking for a appointment for her. She did hop on the meeting. We didn't vote on anything. She was just kind of listening to what we had to talk about and things, but she would need to get appointed. So we can start with that if you'd like.
Make a motion to appoint Tammy DeRay Sorensen to the 250th Anniversary Committee.
All right, I'll second that motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thank you. And anyone else who's interested in joining this 250th Celebration Committee, the more the merrier. There's a lot of planning to be done and a lot of great ideas that have been brainstormed. So we'd love to see a lot of it come to fruition. Okay, for Parks and Recs, we do have one resignation. John Webster has decided to step down. I just would like to thank him for his service. And then we have 2 appointments for Park and Rec. So those are Jim Lindberg. I received them. They both sent letters in. I'm not sure if I printed out the letter or just forwarded the email, but they both sent their request letters in. Jim Lindberg and Jennifer Gerleth. I think I'm pronouncing Jen's name right. So I'll need a motion for the resignation and the appointment.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Mr. John Webster, and as well as the ascension to the Park Rec Committee of Jim Lindberg and Jennifer Derla.
All right, I second that. All those in favor of the resignation and 2 appointments, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Moving on to the School Expansion Committee. So there was a request to start this committee at a couple Board of Selectmen meetings, and I also placed it in Talk Turkey, and we did get some responses, and I will write their names. I'm pretty sure I sent them over to you. Yeah.
Actually, I do not see those.
Okay, here. Let's read them. Okay, so the members who would like to join the School Expansion Committee, we really haven't done much with it. Missy's mentioned it at a Board of Finance meeting or 2, and she and I have just kind of discussed we don't really know where it's going yet, but in case we decide to get going on it, we'd like the committee ready to go. So we'll probably schedule something in the next couple weeks. So Brett Lohman, Amanda Richter, Bob Raven-Seeger,
okay,
and Joanne Brazalovich.
Okay.
So, and then Missy and I would be just kind of default members of it.
Okay, so we'll make a motion to
for
appoint Brett Lohman, Amanda Richter, Bob Raven-Seeger, Joanna Brazalovich, to the new School Expansion Committee.
Yep.
And Missy Brevaro Grande and Eden Wimfarmer as de facto members, as their position would dictate.
I'll second that motion. All right,
Aye.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone willing to join this committee, more than welcome also. So thank you for that. That had been under Shared Services, so I thought I sent you the names. So thank you for that. All right, 6B on the agenda is the February stats police log. For the month of February, there were 13 motor vehicle accidents the police had attended to, 10 alarm calls, 1 burglary, 1 fire call, 1 fraud, 29 medical assists, 7 suspicious incidents, 4 traffic stops, 622 patrol checks, and for a total of 768 calls for service. This will also be posted online. All right. Next on the agenda is a senior community center round fund adoption, creation and adoption. And I might have to read off of yours. Thank you. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on a second. Thank you. Okay, so this was brought to me
Excuse me.
to ask to be created by our treasurer, Kelly Jacobs. 1 second. Nicole. Oh, I skipped over tax report. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Because you and I were talking about the round fund, Nicole. That's why I changed the position of it. There it is. Okay. So I provided the February monthly report to the board. This letter is from Heidi, our tax collector. She's very happy to report for the first time this fiscal year, our overall percentage rate is up from last year at this time. Our collection rates are as follows. Real estate, we're at 98.43% for the fiscal year collected. Personal property, 98.09%. Motor vehicle, 94.61%. And motor vehicle supplemental, 85.53%. Our overall average to date is 97.81% collected compared to last year at this time, 97.54%. Collections on prior year taxes, interest, and fees are up approximately $80,000 from the same time last year as well. And this month she'll be sending out real estate and motor vehicle demand notices. So those are for late payments. So I'll need a motion to accept the tax collector report.
I'll make a motion to accept the tax collector report as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye. Thank you. Motion carries. We have one tax refund. It is for Vault Trust out of Charlotte, North Carolina for $626.69.
Make a motion to accept the tax refund as presented.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Refund accepted. Now we're going to get to the round fund, which Kelly Jacobs presented. I have it. Thank you. Okay, so the purpose of this round fund is to establish a fund known as the Senior Community Center Rental Round Fund, which shall be available to the Board of Selectmen to repair, replace, update, and equip the East Granby Senior Community Center. The fund shall not lapse at the term of it is the fund shall not lapse at the end of any fiscal year. The deposits, the Treasurer's Office shall ensure that all revenues from the rental of or use fees charged are accounted for. There shall also be deposited to the fund any gifts or grants specifically intended by the donor or grantor to be deposited therein. Any monies currently held from past rentals / fees of the Senior Community Center shall be moved into this newly established fund. The minimum balance of the fund shall not be less than $100 at any time. Disbursements. Disbursements of the fund shall be made upon the authorization of the Board of Selectmen. All checks shall require 2 signatures. Administration. Administration of and accounting for the fund shall be done by the Treasurer's Office, subject to the oversight of the Board of Selectmen. So I'll just give a little bit of a history. Is normally the rental fees for the Senior Community Center are held in the Selectmen Fund, so there hasn't been real purpose of spending them or where they actually go. So now they'll just be dedicated to Senior Community Center and be held there instead of the Selectmen Fund. So any request would have to come from Senior Services.
I'll make a motion to establish the Senior Community Center rental round fund gladly.
I'll second the motion.
I'm certainly in favor.
I'm in favor too. Okay. I thought you said something else.
Nope.
Okay, we're both in favor. Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think this is a great idea. We say it's accountability for the funds that are coming in for that particular facility. That's marvelous.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Plan of Conservation and Development, 6E. I'll read a memo from the planning department who's handling the Plan of Conservation and Development. The POCD section will cover a broad range of areas in which the town's Board of Selectmen is involved, assess efforts, and establish goals. Broad goals from the 2016 Plan of Conservation and Development included to expand and promote use of the Village Center for a wide variety of events, improve trap rock quarry management in town to address community concerns about noise and operation, create policies and or regulations to facilitate a smooth transition between commercial and residential uses in town, Considering the above, please add notes in the following broad areas. Significant events of the past 10 years, victories and losses. So this is something, a guideline for the Board of Selectmen to give their input for the plan for the POCD, and every board is receiving one of these. Questions to consider. Does the town have adequate commercial property to support economic growth? Is the village center economically viable? Are town departments adequately staffed? Is the town's capital improvement plan updated yearly, and is there sufficient funding for planned projects? Concerns for the next decade, things to consider. Is growth and development in town on par with expectations set in the previous POCD? And then there's a section for goals and hopes. So each committee has been reached out to with questions and for feedback too. So this is just ours, so you know that we're working on it. And this, I believe she'd like it back by April, April 4th. And also just a note from the town planner is they're going to be hosting workshops and some outreach, and we'll be putting some dates in May's Talk Turkey by April 4th. All right, next on the agenda is public comment. No comment online.
So 2 questions. Jason Hayes, Washington Ridge. When you were talking about the budget request, the 2.5 and the additional 17, the 17 you're talking about is to bring up the fund to 45,000 and the 10,300 for the software. It wasn't 17 for the software, is that right? What did that number change?
It was 17 for the total.
Just the software or the 2 combined?
What was the first one combined?
Initially, you had asked for 10,300 for the finance the integrated software, Interact, and then the additional funds for that was to bring up the reserve fund to 45,000. So I'm just wondering if that is still
yes. We'd like the 17 for
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
It brings us to a 2.81%.
Great. I just want to make sure that the software didn't go up to
No.
17 from 10.3.
No. Thank you.
And then the second question was the POCD questionnaire. Will that be up online, or is there a way to get a copy?
I can put it online.
That'd be great. Thank you so much.
The Board of Selectmen questionnaire.
Yeah, just the basic questions that they're sending out to the kids. That would be great.
I'll ask about it to get posted. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn? There's nothing online.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned at
Ta-da!
6:47 p.m.